Okay. Hey, James Arnold Taylor here. I'm just going to read these questions down and then answer them for you. I hope that works out, and we'll just get you this file here, which you'll have when you're hearing this, so what I'm saying is irrelevant. Here we go. What has been your favorite VO project you've worked on? My favorite? Wow. Very hard to say, but I so enjoy working on Star Wars right now. I must say on Clone Wars it's a pleasure. But each and every thing that I do, as a voice actor, you get to experience so many different things on a daily basis. So my day may start in the morning doing some promos for Fox, Fox tonight, it's a full hour of cops. And then I might then later go do a commercial for, mini wheats, and I'm being a little frosted mini wheat. And then later in the day I may do something, like Clone Wars, which is basically what my day was yesterday. Starting very early in the morning at a studio and then ending late in the studio, and then some of it in my home studio where I am right here now. So every day is different and every job is different. So I really don't have any favorites. I don't have favorites. I certainly have things that aren't as fun as other things, but pretty much being a voice actor, you get to experience so many great stories and ways to work. It's a joy to do. When did you decide to get into voice work? Well, I think that rather than a decision, it was always something that I knew I wanted to do. And ever since I was a young lad, at 4 years old, I knew I wanted to do the voices in cartoons and things, and have pursued it since then vigorously, as I've said before. It's something that I've always wanted to do. So it was never like, oh, you know what? Like many people now, which is kind of disheartening to me, many people decide they want to get into voice acting. And I think so many people are making that decision because they go, I could do what those guys do. Pff, that's easy. And, it's easy money, and it's an easy check. You just walk in, you talk for a few minutes, and then you get paid all this money. That is not what voice acting is about. And I think that it's a shame that so many people are getting into the industry to make a simple buck. And I think it's a shame that so many agents are accepting so many people to do that. It's because there are also so many people that have a great love for this. I get fan mail from people asking me, how do you get into voice acting? And sometimes you see that they're just asking because they just want you to give them something. But most of the time it's because people actually have a love for this. They realize that this is a way of acting and telling stories. I don't like it when people refer to us as voice actors like we're not real actors, and that on-camera people are real actors, So not to sound angry here. I'm coming off very angry, aren't I? But I think that voice acting is a job that is hard work because you want to tell the story the proper way through your voice, and all you have is your voice to convey all information. And it is work that needs to be done with passion. And myself, as well as these other voice actors that I get to work with on a daily basis, and people that are, again, learning the craft, it's because we're passionate about it. So I got into it because of that love. Do you have any advice or suggestions for people who would like to pursue what you do as a career? Where should they start? Well, again, make sure you're getting into voice acting because of a love for voice acting, not because you think you could do it better than somebody else, not because you think you do a million voices, not because you want to impress people, not because you want to make a lot of money. So go through that checklist. If any of those reasons are the reasons you're doing it, you're not going to probably be that successful in it, because that will show. You have to have a passion for voice acting to do it. And I love that voice acting is getting more credit now, that people are wanting to do it. I dislike that so many people want to do it and don't understand what it means to actually do it. So what I would suggest is really know your craft, know the actors that are doing it, know what we do. It's disheartening to get emails that say, I could do what you do, you should tell me how to do it. Or, let me know how to make a bunch of money doing voice acting. So what I would say is know that you really, truly want to do it for the right reasons, and then start recording yourself. Start reading everything you can out loud. Start understanding what your voice is about, who you are, not who Jack Sparrow is, or Obi-Wan Kenobi, or, or that I can do this character from this video game. That's great, but who are you? So know who you are as a voice actor before you pursue voice acting. Know how to have mic technique in front of a microphone, using headphones, taking direction from people without getting defensive or angry or anything like that. Know how to read, to pick up anything and be able to read it and make it sound as though it's coming right off the top of your head and that you're not reading. That's the key. If you're a great cold reader, if you can pick up anything and read it and make it sound compelling and interesting, if you can give 3 different takes of one thing without any of them sounding alike, well, that's what a voice actor is about. If you can give the emotion at the drop of a hat as though you're being a gut-wrenching emotion or happy that's genuine and sounds real, those are traits of a voice actor. If you are not inhibited by having to, in front of all sorts of people, hundreds of people, your peers and alike, being in a very closed, isolated room at times with a small group of people and having to make the strangest, most unique sounds ever, well, then maybe you're in line to be a voice actor. But you have to be able to do all of those things first, as well as many, many other things. But you have to have no inhibitions about the sounds that you make and the reads that you do, and know exactly what your voice is. So I would say find that out, start recording yourself, put a demo together, and send it off to agencies and things within your local town. There's always ad agencies. It doesn't need to be the big Screen Actors Guild, SAG, union stuff right at first. You need to make your way in. Go to your local radio station. I started as a disc jockey when I was 17 years old. I started before that as a stand-up comic at 16. Get experience performing and acting before you just go ahead and go, yeah, I can do voice acting. I want to do video games and all of that. Understand who you are and what you're about before you go any further than that. Then make a recording, get that out there. Always fine-tune it. Read as much as you can. Read comic books. Come up with characters. Do that. Get Dr. Seuss books. Read that. Learn the tongue twisters. Be able to read anything at the drop of a hat. So, okay. Do you have any specific or memorable moments that you can recall that you will always remember when doing your work? Any bloopers? Well, that's a great question. I think that every day, again, I hate to give you the same answer all the time, but every day is a new day in voice acting. There's always new experiences. There's always incredibly wonderfully talented people to work with. I never know who I'm going to be working with when I walk into a studio. So as far as memorable moments, nothing is jumping out as one particular incredibly memorable moment right now, except to say flashes of daily moments are going through my head, working with some amazing voice actors from the likes of D. Bradley Baker and Tom Kane on Clone Wars, to Jim Cummings, Billy West, Maurice LaMarche, Jess Harnell, Tara Strong, Cree Summer, Jennifer Hale, Nika Futterman, all these just amazing voice actors, Corey Burton. These people, every day working with them, they're incredibly memorable moments. Working with amazing on-camera actors that come in and get it is wonderful. Working with people like Andrea Romano and Dave Filoni are wonderful moments in my life on a daily basis. Getting to do this every day is a joy, and I try to remind myself of that every time I walk into a studio, even the one I'm in right now, my home studio, and I start a job. I say a little prayer of thanks because I am so grateful for doing this, because there's always something fun to do in voiceover. As far as bloopers go, I will say that voice actors are constantly joking around with each other and harassing each other and doing voices at each other. So most of them are ones that I probably could not give away in confidence, but I will just say that you'll never find a more hysterical group of people to work with than voice actors. What is your favorite thing about being a voice actor? Well, kind of cover it in that as well, is that every day we get to be someone new. And, whether I start my day as, an 11-year-old Johnny Test doing something like, saying, this is totally awesome, to then going over and doing Fox Tonight, coming up next on Cops, and then walking into another room and being mindful of the Force as Obi-Wan Kenobi or Master Plo Koon. Every day is a new day in voiceover, and it's my favorite thing about being a voice actor. I get to be all these amazing characters. I've had the honor of being, the voice of Fred Flintstone and Leonardo, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle, and Huckleberry Hound, and Obi-Wan Kenobi, and Master Plo Koon, and all these characters that have been around for so long that people love. Green Arrow, Green Lantern, Spider-Man, Harry Osborn. It's what a joy, what an honor. I get to be all these various people. I love it. So I'm very, very blessed and honored to do it.